Like, I think that the Democrats, for example, like they could win the next election if they just make it a class issue. Like, it's that simple. And they got to just be, they're so risk averse, and they need to be a little bit more brave. Americans, we have very high risk tolerance or low risk. What's the one I'm trying to say?
We have high risk.
Like everybody in our family's history, like the craziest people in the world came here.
Yep.
Like they lived in another country, left their entire family for maybe it working out, and then came over here.
Right.
Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly just straight up torched the far left Democrats in this epic clip. We're talking full-on, no-holds-barred takedown mode, exposing the softness, the hypocrisy, and the absolute clown show coming from the far left. Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly go full throttle, pointing out how disconnected the Democrats have become from working-class Americans, how they've lost their edge, and how they're fumbling against Trump. Let's dive in and hear what Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly have to say.
You are a softie.
Yeah, I'm sensitive.
Yeah, I
very
can see
sensitive.
that.
And it's like, it's weird. It's like I'm sensitive, but like I'm numb to certain things. Not numb, but like they don't really affect me, like criticism and going through all these like random internet shit that I go through.
Yep.
But I am very sensitive to the people I really care about. So like reactivity within like my family or friend group. And then I'm also sensitive to like kind of like cultural trends. I can like feel like frustration pretty early.
Like, what do you mean? Do you feel one now?
No, not even like what do I think for people, for example? Like what do I think people really care about? Like I think that the Democrats, for example, like they could win the next election if they just make it a class issue. Like it's that simple. And they got to just be, they're so risk averse, and they need to be a little bit more brave. Americans, we have very high risk tolerance or low risk. What's the one I'm trying to say?
We have high risk.
Like everybody in our family's history, like the craziest people in the world came here.
Yep.
Like they lived in another country, left their entire family for maybe it working out, and then came over here.
Right.
So we're built crazy. So we like people that take risks, and we like bravery. And despite your politics, we react to those type of people. And like, I think this is part of the reason why Bernie was so successful, is that he's out here like calling out the billionaire class, calling out these corporations. And even like people who were Republicans, like working class Republicans, were like, yo, who the fuck is that? I kind of like this guy. Like, He feels like he's kind of riding for me.
That's who Joe Rogan was for 4 years ago.
All of us loved him. And despite...
Or 10, whatever.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of what the Democratic Party is missing, is just, I need a disruptive guy or girl who's willing to come out and say eggs are $1. Like, what's your build a wall?
Yeah, right.
You need eggs or $1.
Yep.
Even, and then you could, subsidize it, whatever it is. But like, you need to smack into people emotionally.
Do you feel like this is the answer? Because this is the latest messaging from the Dems on social media today, SOT 13. Okay. Choose your fighter video montage.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's Democratic female lawmakers, AOC, in the fighting stance and bouncing. Oh, she looks like an idiot. Look at this one. Yeah. Look at her, Jasmine Crockett. Oh, the last one's terrible. I have secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by fearless and risk tolerance?
Yeah, exactly what I mean. That to me makes me proud to be an American. Like, I feel safe with those women right there. They can defend me. Yes.
Does that inspire you to get to the ballot box?
Megyn Kelly is totally locked in here. Like, what are we even watching with these Democrat videos? AOC bouncing around like it's a TikTok dance-off? Come on. Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly are absolutely right. It's embarrassing, and it's not inspiring anyone to hit the polls. It's just cringe. Americans want bold, not buffoonery.
You know, it's like, I don't even know why AOC's there. She's actually, like her or hate her politics, like, I think she pulled the same as Trump in her district. She's
good on the social media. I mean, she knows how to use social media. Normally, I don't think she came up with that campaign.
No, I think she's like getting on board with it. But at the same time, like I guess her constituents feel like she's fighting for her.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of this, for them. And whereas like, I find a lot of times with the Democrats, there is this like pretentiousness. There's this like Ivy League educated, like second or third generation kind of trust fund Nepo babies that are like telling people how they should live and how they should vote. And it's like, first of all, if you've never had a real job, you don't get to talk.
Yep.
You don't get to talk. Like, I'm almost like, if you never had a kid, you don't get to talk. But like, if you never had a real job, you don't get to tell people how they should vote. Like we just despise that.
Yeah.
So what I think they have to do is get back in touch with the working class, is very much make this a class issue. And you got to call out those people who are giving you money, which are these billionaires and these corporations that are donating, and they won't do it. And that's why they'll probably lose. But the first person in that party that calls it out, you're going to see the Bernie effect happen again.
Well, I mean, the problem they're dealing with right now is they don't know how to handle Trump. They don't know how to behave properly. You know, they're way like
don't even talk to him.
We're debating the spoon. They're debating whether you should stand when the 13-year-old brain cancer stricken boy gets honored. They didn't do it. There's a meme going on right now. I think Riley Gaines posted it saying they knelt for 8 minutes and 43 seconds for George Floyd.
Yeah.
But they couldn't stand for Peyton McNabb, the now 19-year-old, formerly 16-year-old, who got slammed in the face with a volley board. They couldn't stand for DJ Daniel, the little boy, the 13-year-old boy with brain cancer. They couldn't stand for the widow of the cop who got gunned down. They couldn't stand at learning that the terrorist who organized the Abbey Gate attack got arrested.
But the problem with this is like they're falling for the trap. And this is why you need a little bit more like boots on the ground with the Dems. Like you got to understand like what people think of you. Like like we were saying, people are emotional. It's not like what you believe is real. It's what they feel is real, right? So they've got a couple issues. They've got a masculinity issue, right?
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Andrew Schultz just nails it. Like, seriously, you can feel how uncomfortable the far left gets when anyone brings up strength or masculinity. I mean, the guy's just joking about height, but the left spirals like it's DEFCON 1, and Megyn Kelly's laughing, because we all know it's true. The Democrats are stuck in this weird cycle where they're allergic to anything that feels tough or daring.
I said something on Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne. I was just joking around. I was like, I don't know a guy like over 5'9" that identifies as a Democrat.
I love that. I played that
crazy.
soundbite on my show.
They went crazy. And I didn't realize it was going to be so reactive. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, wow, they have this deep insecurity that they're not seen as masculine. So that really tapped that insecurity.
Well, then do something about it.
Well, so you have to find a way to be masculine. You can be masculine and care for people.
Yes.
There's so many ways. Like, I'm a fucking kid who grew up in like an arts family in New York City. Like my whole family is Democrats. Like this is like, there's tons of very masculine Democrats.
Yeah.
Like shit, Bill was maybe too masculine. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where Democrats were getting laid and Republicans were like, how do you do this outside of the marriage? You got to wait for, that has completely flipped.
Yep.
Completely.
Did you feel it was masculine to hold up the little sign saying Musk steals?
Oh God!
Did you feel you would have done that had you been a masculine Democrat?
I don't even know. I mean, but to your point about this is like they're falling for the trap. The Republicans know, right, that they're going to sit down. So they're putting out circumstances that they can't. They're like, if they sit for this, they're going to look so bad.
It's a no-lose situation for Trump.
But if they stood for it, it's actually a beautiful moment.
Yes.
Look at this poor little kid.
Yes.
And it's a great moment where we come together. It's just like Doge. Getting rid of government waste and inefficiency is a great thing for America. We should have bipartisan support for this. What Dems are doing is they're going, you're a bad guy. And that worked when people thought Trump was bad guy. They don't anymore.
That's right.
They don't.
You're making yourselves look like the bad guys.
Don't even talk about him. Talk about the people you want to help. People are desperate.
Yep.
They need help. You need your build a wall. It's eggs or $1.
Yep.
You need your build a wall. We're building 10,000 affordable housing units in every city. We're seizing this land and then have developers go, wait, you can't even do that. And go, I don't give a fuck if you say we can't do it. That's what we're doing.
They don't have that guy.
Put your balls on the ground. Like, just make it happen. Even if it doesn't happen, it's like Trump saying we're going to take Greenland. It's kind of fun.
Right.
I like that shit.
That's Gulf of America. I like it.
Hell yeah. Like Gulf of America, I don't care. Why was it ever Gulf of Mexico?
I know. We're so much bigger than they are.
Right? Matter of fact, they could still call it Gulf of Mexico. We don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's the energy that we need. Americans love abundance.
Yeah.
You need to sell us on abundance.
No, wait, aren't you the guy? You're the one who said this to me, and I've quoted you on it many times on how the moment Trump won you over was when he took the guy from Montenegro by the shoulder, was like, To the back.
Wait, which one?
When he was over at like the G7 or the G18.
I loved it.
And he shoved that guy.
Why am I in the back?
Right.
Why this?
I'm America.
Nobody even understands what this country is, this guy in the front. Move out of the way. I will sit here. And then he did it and everybody got in line. It happens. You need that kind of, that is some like psychotic shit. I don't think I would have the balls to do that. That is some ballsy shit.
Montenegro's in the back, sir.
Bye. See you later. You're all in the back. It doesn't really matter.
Right, everyone.
If I'm giving you money, you're in the back.
Yes.
Are you guys giving me money? So why are you in the front? Right? It's like...
Well, that's part of his, like, weirdly...
It's unbelievably charming.
Charm and humor. What did you think of... I thought it was very funny, the State of the Union. Did you laugh?
Great. This amount for this country. Nobody even knows what the hell it is.
Did that make you laugh out loud?
Yeah. This is why... Another thing Democrats don't understand. They don't understand, like, why this, like, billionaire who was given money from his dad is so relatable. Well, why don't you listen to him talk?
Yeah, this is such a solid point. Andrew Schultz is explaining exactly why people vibe with Trump, and Megyn Kelly's right there with him. I mean, it's simple. The guy sounds like your uncle at the cookout, like a real person and not some pre-programmed corporate polished robot. I don't know, but the Democrats just don't get that. They're busy pandering instead of actually connecting.
I've had conversations with like rich people, okay? They don't talk like that.
Yeah.
They're incredibly buttoned up, a lot of them, and concerned publicly about their image, and they're very deliberate about what they say. He don't give a fuck.
No.
When the Indian reporter was asking him the question, and he was just dibble-dabbling, and then Trump let him finish and go, I don't understand what the hell that guy's talking about. You know who says that? The guy on the construction site.
And he called her Pocahontas at the State of the Union.
This is how working class people talk.
Yeah.
This is like what we do. This is how we communicate with one another. So when we see it happen, we're like, oh wow, I relate to that human being. Again, emotional people. We're not Ben Shapiro, feelings, no facts. That's not what we are. We are, what is it? Feelings, no facts?
Ben says facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah. We're not the facts, don't care about your feelings. We are, feelings are the only thing that matter. And when you communicate with me in a way that all my friends communicate, I start to feel like, oh, I can kind of relate to you. And it doesn't matter how much you try to make that person radioactive because he's communicating and hitting me at my core.
That's so true. It's why his background in construction really made him, despite his advantages in his family and when it came to money, so relatable because he spent his whole life around working class people.
Exactly. And it's like... I say these things because I think America is at its best if we have two candidates that people really are having a difficult time deciding over. I don't want a system, right? Like I don't want a system, like a lot of times there's this like good versus evil dichotomy. And it's like they almost want the Democrats to be bad and the Democrats want the Republicans to be bad. Like I want America to win.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm concerned. Whatever candidate loves America more, that's what I'm voting for.
Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly just absolutely dismantled the far left Democrats here. They're speaking truths people are afraid to say out loud, calling out the fake toughness, the detachment from the working class, and just how badly the left is getting played by Trump's simple but effective approach. This clip is proof that when you speak like a real human and cut through the noise, people listen. Andrew Schultz and Megyn Kelly, they're giving us the commentary we need right now.